What's good? Rocking with you. It's your boy Czar, all rights reserved. Now, today the topic is going to be a little different. It's going to be more, let's say, directed towards the now. I'm more present. Not some issue, not some past thing, not an ideology so much as an issue, and the issue with the ideology in the issue. Okay. So recently everyone's seen the game has addressed Tekashi and it's getting heated up. You have Treyway, who claims to allegedly be the CEO or a CEO around Tekashi69. You have versus Whack 100, the manager of the game in the game, the rapper the game, who has recently went on stage and called him a fake blood and things of that nature, which I have no proof either way. There's also been claims that Tekashi69 is paying the gangsters of NY that are true bloods to protect him. Now, I don't know about the truth in that, and I don't know about what they have linked together. However, I did see a video where Tekashi69 gave his platinum plaque to Treyway. Now, it could have been just for show. It could have been just demonstration, but we don't know what it is. But he definitely handed that to him. He handed it to him. Okay. So he said, listen, here. You know what I mean? So I don't know why he would do that. It's his platinum plaque. Moving forward, though, we now have the game has gone on and left messages with a picture of Tekashi on Instagram showing him with a Crip flag around his neck in one picture, and then him speaking to him in another, telling him to cut it out. Quote unquote, you're turning Disney tickets into red flags, which means he's making it everyone think they could get a red flag, be a blood, and listen to his music if it's kids that look up to him, which I fully agree. It's influencing the youth in some way, shape, or form, because obviously that's who the music is targeted to, even though adults buy it, the people that legally are able to listen to it or purchase it. But we still have children being influenced. So I fully get where the game's coming from with that. My thing is, kids are going to do what they're going to do at the same time. So I get where Tekashi's coming with from that. So what do we have here? Okay. We have now the game, who is a blood now. I have seen a game show, okay, with you on it. And I remember watching it in like middle school. I saw a game show and you were on it, and I seen nothing to give me that feel. But in respect to the game, even though people allege, you know, you were a stripper, allege a lot of other things about your character, I will say this, that on the West Coast, I believe the gun violence is so normal that it's not the same thing as we may think. It's a different format. So when we're thinking of how gun violence works and like that, and how it's a rarity, it's so normal on the West Coast because of gangs that sometimes you won't know who's a part of what gang. Someone could be a blood wearing black. You know what I mean? So in that same sense, who knows? Who knows who is the fake or the real blood? Who knows? Who knows? Does it matter? You see, that's the catch. It matters only if the game's intentions on addressing it are real. But it just sort of seems like beef. And my thing is, if Tekashi goes back to LA after Whack 100, quote unquote, said, I dare you to come back. I dare you. I dare you. Just like that. Then if he does go back, we don't want bad to happen, but something that would have to. Because that would decide who's the fake or real blood, especially if he's coming to the West Coast. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't see the progression. I don't see what's gained on either side by this scenario. It just looks like it messes up money for both parties, to be honest. So I don't really get where it's going, but moving forward, because they want static with each other. Now, what are we going to say about Tekashi leading the younger generation if he's getting into a violent altercation with the game? Now I want to ask you, Does it really matter fake or real with the social media conflict that's building towards real life? Doesn't that seem like the perfect plan regardless of whether they're fake or real bloods? If you think about it, it makes perfect sense because say I had two real bloods fighting each other, two fake bloods fighting each other. They're doing it on a stage that everyone can see. So who's the winner in the end? You know, we're the viewer. We're always going to pay time. So at the end of the day, we don't gain a victory. Who's the winner? That's what I need to understand. That's the only thing I need to get. That's where things get shady for me, and it gets a little conflicting on me understanding the point of view or the stance people are taking in this scenario. Why all of a sudden, though? That's my only question to the game. Why all of a sudden now do you care? Being I've listened to your music since high school, so I know the type of music you made. Is there a far sinister intention or plan that you're trying to thwart? Are you trying to play a hero for the culture or humanity? But you're still wearing a flag. And you never told people to put their flag down or now you're saying this ain't for everybody, but you should be saying, kids, you could do better for yourself. That's my only thing with the approach of you coming at Tekashi69 for that. But on the back end, for years, you influenced the very same gang violence he's rapping about now. So it sort of ends, or, now we're going to get into the bread and butter. Part of what I was trying to mention was that, you know, whether they're fake, real blood, how they're influencing the music, is the game scared that this kid's going to replace him as a main view of what a blood is of society? That's another view. Is this an attack on the game's persona? Is that why he's standing up? I thought about it, and he could be taking it personal. For real. He could say, they're about to let this kid shine as a blood and be recognized by everybody when, you know, as we've seen his sales on his last album, they weren't the greatest, especially the first weeks. So the marketing and promotion needs to step up. We need to look at this on the outside of whoever is going to be the one that's going to be stepping up to take charge is going to be the one repping the bloods out of this conflict. And because of one reason that's going to happen. Game, when you went on the post, when you spoke in the thing, the first thing you said on that Instagram post is basically that everybody knows you're a king blood and you tried to be quiet. Now you just put yourself on a pedestal in a way that you're the end all be all. So if Tekashi conquers you, he wins everything. It was the perfect strategy they used. If you look at the Instagram photos and the back and forth, there is not 1 ounce of fear in Treyway dealing with the game. Not even on the West Coast. The way they showed up in the first place, there's no fear. So there's something he must know that we don't know. And that's what the game has to take into account. It don't matter your prestige, because even if you do get something done, your name's going to go attached with the person that does it, because they're going to do it for the clout. Now, remember the dangers with clout. We talked about this in many different previews. When you get clout involved, you get people that do a job, but they do it to be recognized, not doing it to get the job done. You see, and that's where your dangers come in, especially with this public Instagram, Twitter, back and forth. Like, guys, listen, that's why 2018, everybody just needs to focus on making money. Because all you're doing with both parties is quarreling over a flag and a color, not only that no one owns, but it's going to be here when we're gone, as others come, It's going to be here. So what are you fighting for? I don't know if I'm going to say I want them to team up. Oh, I'm not going there. I'm just saying, if you guys are going to do what you're doing, you got to do it. But until then, all we see is social media quarreling. Maybe it's best to just drop it. And when he goes to LA, you handle business. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.